Hey sis, welcome back to another episode of the Fertile Faith Podcast. Today, we're going there. We're talking about something I know that you felt, those PMS symptoms and all the emotional ups and downs that come with the luteal phase of your cycle. I have spent time, really digging into what's going on in our bodies during this time, and more importantly, what God showed me about his design for rest, patience, and surrender in this part of the cycle. If you've ever found yourself frustrated, emotional, or even questioning God's timing in the days leading up to your period, or the days leading up to a time where you want to test, right, for pregnancy, I get it. Let's talk about what's really happening, both physically and spiritually, and how you can handle this part of your cycle with peace in mind.
Hola, it's Avi, aka Octavia Steen, natural fertility doula, health coach, and creator of the faith-based business Mother Mindset. Welcome to the Fertile Faith Podcast, a podcast that helps women of God who are trying to get pregnant naturally to overcome negative thoughts and balance her hormones so she no longer has to be overwhelmed and consumed by her TTC journey. I'm so glad that you're here, sis. I can't wait to dive into this episode.
Okay, sis, first off, let's break down what's actually happening in your body. The luteal phase is the 2 weeks after ovulation, right? Before, your period or pregnancy, right? It's when your body is either preparing to sustain a pregnancy or preparing to shed your uterine lining for your period. Progesterone rises to support implantation during this time, but if pregnancy doesn't happen, progesterone drops. And that drop can make us feel tired, moody, anxious, weepy, right? Sometimes it feels like for no reason at all. But here's the thing, it's not just your hormones. It's your body signaling that it's time to slow down. I truly believe God designed this part of our cycle as a built in reminder to rest, to reflect, and to be still, right? You know, the luteal phase is like a built in Selah in the Bible. That Selah was a pause, a moment to be still, to wait on Him, to reflect. We live in a world that pushes us to do more, be more, achieve more. But God's design in your body is telling you to slow down. Psalms 46:10 says, "Be still and know that I am God." And we have the podcast episode a couple of episodes back about that scripture. Be still and know that I'm God. In the luteal phase, our energy dips, our patience gets tested, and that's when God is calling us to lean on Him, to rest, not just physically, but spiritually. Now, let me share what helped me personally because, girl, I used to feel wrecked during this part of my cycle. But here's what made a really big difference. Upping my magnesium, first and foremost, was a total game changer for the mood swings and for sleep. So I take a magnesium supplement at night. Sometimes I take it during the day as well. I take it around like when you would get that afternoon slump, and it does something different in the afternoon. It gives like a little bit of energy boost, but then I take it again. I don't always take it in the afternoon, but I definitely aim to take it before bed. I usually drink my supplement. It's like a powder supplement. It's called Nello. It's on Amazon. I'll link it in the show notes, but it's called Nello, and it's just like a little powder supplement, like Crystallite. If I could, if I could compare it to anything, and it tastes really good actually. And I put it into just some water, and I drink that an hour before bed. And so that has really helped with my mood swings, also with the sleep as well. Also, cutting back on sugar in the second half of my cycle, cutting back on sugar in the entire entirety of my cycle, and processed foods. because sugar spikes, only made that emotional roller coaster even worse. Um, and then eating more cruciferous veggies like broccoli and Brussels sprouts and spinach and kale, all of those cruciferous veggies, they actually helped as well. And just like the healing process, I felt my cycles feel a lot more manageable and not so heavy and clotty. So, prioritizing sleep. Seriously, going to bed on time during the luteal phase helps me stay calm. And then gentle movement, right? Trading those intense workouts that you do during your ovulation phase for more walking and more stretching, right? I'm still doing like my strength, training and whatnot, but I'm taking it easy. I'm listening to my body. Remember, sis, it's not about being perfect. It's about supporting the body that God gave you, right? And so, you know, your body was fearfully and wonderfully made. I know I tell you that all the time. Your body was fearfully and wonderfully made. Even the parts that feel uncomfortable or frustrating, they're part of His design. The luteal phase doesn't have to be chaos. It can be a time of slowing down, right? It can be a time of resting in His presence and trusting that even when emotions run high, God's peace runs deeper. If this episode blessed you, share it with a friend who might need it. And if you want more support, encouragement, and guidance on walking through your fertility journey with faith and peace, make sure you grab my fertility prayer checklist at fertilitychecklist.com. Until next time, keep trusting God, keep resting when He calls you to rest, sis. Uh, and know that peace is always available to you in His presence. Love you, sis. Blessings and baby dust. I pray that today's episode was helpful. If it was, please leave a review to help this podcast reach other women of faith who are trying to conceive, and tag me over on Instagram at mother.mindset so I can shout you out. I can't wait to help you pinpoint ovulation and navigate this journey with peace and confidence alongside the Lord. Blessings and baby dust.